Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur. So having this great opportunity where he was able to completely focus on the Supreme Lord and the presence of Supreme Lord, he departed. So the denizens of the heavenly planets, they sounded the cattle drums. There was a great festivity, joy to see such a glorious departure. And from the sky fell showers of flowers. The 6th verse. Tasya nirharanadini sampretasya bharva yudhishthara karitva muhurtam dukhito bhava. So, O descendants of Bhrigus, so this Sud Goswami, this is Sud Goswami speaking. Right? You see in the last 4 verses, it is Sud Goswami speaking. Yeah, from here, from the 43rd verse, Sud Goswami is speaking. So he's saying that, O descendant of Bhrigu, Shaunaka, the assembled sages, after performing rituals for the body of Bhishma there, Maharaj Yudhishthira was momentarily overtaken with grief. It is very natural that out of and such relationship, Yudhishthira Maharaj was overtaken with grief. Krishna, the internet is a problem. Hare Krishna. Here, please.
It is breaking. We can hear Prabhuji in between. It is breaking. Voice is breaking.
You have to bear with me today, because here the internet is not very stable. It is giving the prompt on the screen that internet is not very stable, unstable internet. But please try to hear the purport. Hare Krishna, I think mobile would be better. Hare Krishna. अभी आवाज आ रहा है इसमें?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you hear me?
It is clear now. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so what I will do, I will show the screen and I will speak from here. Okay. So just be here for today. Tomorrow I'll return. Before the class, I will return to Delhi temple. So here, Srila Prabhupada is giving the very strong bond of relationship which Yudhishthira Maharaj shared with Bhishma Dev, saying that he was not only the head of the great family. Bhishma Dev was not only a great family of Yudhishthira, but he was also a great philosopher and friend to him, his brothers, and his mother. Both. So this is very, very glorious. If you have someone who is also a philosopher, friend, and guide, then the life will be surely successful. If one is fortunate to have someone mature, who is in Krishna consciousness as your friend, as your philosopher, and also as your guide. So was Bhishmadev. And he was not only to Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was to all the five brothers, including Mother Kunti. Since Maharaj Pandu, the father of the five brothers, had died, Bhishmadev was the most affectionate grandfathers of the Pandavas and caretaker of the daughter-in-law Kunti Devi. Although Maharaj Dhritarashtra, the elder uncle of Maharaj Yudhishthir, was there to look after them, his affection was more on the side of the 100 sons headed by Duryodhana. Ultimately, a colossal conspiracy was fabricated to deprive the five fatherless brothers of rightful claim of the kingdom of Hastinapur. There was a great intrigue common in imperial palaces, and the five brothers were exiled to the wilderness. But Bhishmadev was always a sincerely sympathetic, well-wisher grandfather, friend, and philosopher. Again, Prabhupada is saying, was a well-wisher, grandfather, friend, and philosopher to Maharaj Yudhishthir, even up to the last moment of his life. He died very happily by seeing Maharaj Yudhishthir on the throne. Otherwise, he would have long quit his material body instead of suffering agony over the undue sufferings of the Pandavas. He was simply waiting for the opportune moment because he was sure and certain that the sons of Pandu would come out victorious in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, as his lordship, Sri Krishna, was their protector. A devotee of the law, as a devotee of the law, he knew that the Lord's devotee cannot be vanquished at any time. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? That the Lord's devotee cannot be vanquished at any time. What verse is that? Quickly. Yes, Sonika?
प्रभुजी न मे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति.
Very good. That is one. There are others also. Bhavati Dharmata Shashwan Shakni Nigachati Onteya Pratijanahi Dame Bhaktya Pranashyati. Very good. That is in the 9th chapter. But before that also Krishna has given many times assurance in Bhagavad Gita that his devotee can never be vanquished. What are the other evidences? Ravindra Prabhu? Then otherwise, why you will practice devotion? Why you will perform devotional service to Krishna if this conviction is not there in the heart? Bolo, jaldi bolo. You can raise your hand. I cannot see you on the screen because of the internet. Or if you know, you please speak. What are the verses in Bhagavad Gita? Where Krishna is assuring that his devotee can never be harmed. Yes, Dayashil Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Speak, speak, please.
प्रभु जी, नेहा अभिक्रम नाशो अस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महत्वभाव.
Okay, good. Yes, that evidence is also there. There is one more. There is one more. Very clear. Okay. Yes, that is also there. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Yoga Shemam Vahami. Because Krishna himself takes the charge. And there is one more. Good. There is one more evidence. See, throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving this assurance that whoever performs devotional service to him, whoever becomes his devotee, what is the greatest assurance he gives? Yes, Sonika?
प्रभु सर्वधर्माणि परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Yes, Krishna says that even if you are the greatest of all the sinners, Krishna is still assuring that I will protect you. Mokshasyami ma shucha. Very good. So we see this is the conviction of a devotee. He is never in doubt. Troubles will come in life. There will be tests, there will be tribulations, there will be trouble. But Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. So this conviction is there deep inside the heart of Srila Bhishmadev. And he was waiting for this time. Actually, he was waiting for this opportune moment, as Srila Prabhupada is quoting here, that as a devotee of the Lord, he knew that the Lord's devotee cannot be vanquished at any time. Maharaj Yudhishthir was quite aware of all these good wishes of Bhishmadev, and therefore he must have been feeling the great separation. He was sorry for the separation of a good soul, and not for the material body which Bhishmadev relinquished. So this separation is not on the bodily platform. This is the separation of feeling someone who is like a spiritual master. So the disciple should feel separation, and he should feel pain when the spiritual master or a spiritual teacher leaves. The funeral ceremony was a necessary duty, although Bhishmadev was a liberated soul. Since Bhishmadev was without issue, the eldest grandson, namely Maharaj Yudhishthir, was the rightful person to perform this ceremony. It was a great boon to Bhishmadev that an equally great son of the family undertook the last rites of the great man. 47. Tuštavur muniyo hishta Krishnam tad goya namabhi tataste Krishna hridaya swasraman prayayupuna. All the great sages then glorified Lord Shri Krishna, who were present there, by confidential Vedic hymns. Then all of them returned to their respective hermitage, bearing always Lord Krishna within their hearts. This is also very exceptional, that the departure was of Bhishmadev and the sages are carrying the image of Lord Krishna in their heart. The devotee of the Lord are always in the heart of the devotee, and the Lord is always in the heart of devotees. The devotees of the Lord are always in the heart of the Lord, and the Lord is always in the heart of the devotee. What is this verse? Very famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. That is a sweet relation between the Lord and his devotees. You are hearing me now? I am speaking from the mobile phone. I will not connect from laptop because it is again and again disconnecting. Which verse is this? Very famous verse. The devotees of the Lord are always in the heart of the Lord, and the Lord is always in the heart of the devotees. I cannot see all of you on the screen in the handphone, so please speak the verse, whoever knows. Please recite quickly. That is the sweet relation between the Lord and his devotees. Due to unalloyed love and devotion for the Lord, the devotees always see him within themselves. And the Lord also, though he has nothing to do with and nothing to aspire to, he is always busy attending to the welfare of which. It is exactly the translation of a very, very important verse which talks about this principle, about the absorption of the Lord for his devotees and the devotees' absorption in the Lord. Which verse is this? Very famous verse. The devotees of the Lord are always in the heart of the Lord, and the Lord is always in the heart of the devotees. You have more than 10 times heard this verse. Bolo Ramya.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी मुझे याद नहीं है.
Dayashil Prabhu. This verse is quoted even in the Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada quotes this verse.
Yes, Prabhuji, this is Sadhunam Hriday Aham Prabhuji. I'm not able to remember total
No,
verses,
no.
but
It is you have come near, but not this verse. That is Naham Tishtami Vaikunte, not that verse. This is the devotees of the Lord are always in the heart of the Lord, and the Lord is always in the heart of the devotees. Sadhavo Hriday Mahyam, Sadhunam Hriday Taham, Mat Anyate na jananti, Naham Tegyo Managapi. When Durvasa Muni approached Lord Vishnu for protection from the wrath of the Sudarshan Chakra, Lord Vishnu expressed his inability. He said that it is not in my jurisdiction now. So there, this verse is quoted that Sadhavo Hridayamayam. The devotees of the Lord are always in the heart of the Lord. And Sadhunam Hridayataham, and in the hearts of the devotees there is only Lord. Mad Anyate na jananti, that devotees do not know anyone but me. Naham tebhyo managapi, and I also do not know anyone but my devotees. For the ordinary living beings, the law of nature is there for all actions and reactions. This is for those who are non-devotees. But he is always anxious to put his devotees on the right path. The devotees, therefore, are under the direct care of the Lord. And the Lord also voluntarily puts himself under the care of his devotees. This is very special. This is, of course, there the devotees are always under the direct care of the Lord. And here Prabhupada says, the Lord also voluntarily puts himself under the care of his devotees only. There is one pastime of Srila Prabhupada. When Prabhupada was having this brain stroke, so at that time, Prabhupada had decided to come back to India for his treatment and for recuperation. But if you see the conversation at that time, so in fact, Prabhupada asked his disciples that you decide, whatever you people will decide, I am agreeing by that. So much the Lord puts him under the care of his devotees. So the sages headed by Vyasadeva were devotees of the Lord, and therefore they chanted the Vedic hymns after the funeral ceremony just to please the Lord, who was present there personally. All the Vedic hymns are chanted to please Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, famous verse. All the Vedas, Upanishad, Vedanta, etc. are seeking him only. All the hymns are for glorifying him only. The sages therefore performed the exact acts suitable for the purpose, and they happily departed for their respective hermitages. Tato yudhishtharo gratva saha krishno gaja vayam pitaram santvayam asha gandharim cha tapasvinim. Thereafter, Maharaj Yudhishthir at once went to his capital Hastinapur, accompanied by Lord Shri Krishna. And there he consoled his uncle and his aunt, Gandhari, who was an ascetic. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam is glorifying Gandharim cha tapasvinim. And for Dhritarashtra, the word is coming is Pitaram. Pitaram Shanta Vayam Asha. So he consoled the uncle who was elder to him and Gandhari who was ascetic. Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, the father and mother of Duryodhana and his brothers, were the elder uncle and aunt of Maharaj Yudhishthir. After the battle of Kurukshetra, the celebrated couple, having lost all their sons and grandsons, were under the care of Maharaj Yudhishthir. They were passing their days in great agony over such a heavy loss of life and were practically living the life of ascetics. The death news of Bhishmadev, uncle of Dhritarashtra, was another great shock for the king and the queen. And therefore they required solace from Maharaj Yudhishthir. Maharaj Yudhishthir was conscious of his duty, and he at once hurried to the spot with Lord Krishna and satisfied the bereaved Dhritarashtra with kind words, as did the Lord also. So you see, how impeccably the etiquette is being observed by Maharaj Yudhishthira. Gandhari was a powerful ascetic. Although she was living the life of faithful life with a kind mother, it is said that Gandhari was voluntarily blindfolded her eyes because of the blindness of her husband. That we all know. A wife's duty is to follow the husband's sent person. Prabhupada is saying this very important instruction that the wife's duty is to follow the husband's sent person. Of course, the husband has to be Krishna conscious. Today, in our assembly, Her Grace Devi Shakti Mataji spoke. Anyone heard? Sonika, you have been observing, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And she was talking about how Prabhupada dealt with women in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And of course, she talked about 4 types of women in Krishna consciousness. One who is married, unmarried, the one unmarried, the other who is married, a grahastha life, and there are the other 2 types of women, one whose husband have left them and left Krishna consciousness, that is one. And second is those husbands who have become sannyasis. So Prabhupada was dealing with all these 4 types of women. And Prabhupada encouraged everyone in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada always told the grahasthas, the grahastha disciples, that this is the wife's duty to follow the husband, to cooperate with the husband, to help him perform services in Krishna consciousness. And Mataji's read from many Prabhupads later. And fortunately, I was given in the morning the translation service. So I was repeating it also. So Prabhupada many times to many of our Mataji disciples, Prabhupada emphasized that if you are cooperating with your husbands for their service in Krishna consciousness, both will equally advance in Krishna consciousness. And here Prabhupada is glorifying Gandhari because she was completely committed to serve her husband. And Gandhari was so true to her husband that she followed him even in his perpetual blindness. Therefore, in her action, she was a great ascetic. Besides that, the shock she suffered because of the wholesale killing of her 100 sons and her grandsons was also certainly too much for a woman. So Prabhupada always said that the women cannot be given, difficult situations or difficult services. But she suffered all this just like an ascetic. Gandhari, although a woman, is no less than Bhishmadev in character. See how much Prabhupada is glorifying Gandhari. Gandhari, although a woman, is no less than Bhishmadev in character. They are both remarkable personalities in the Mahabharata. We will see here Prabhupada is glorifying her for her commitment to her husband, that she voluntarily agreed to remain blind. But we will see Prabhupada will not glorify her as amongst the chaste ladies. Amongst the 7 most chaste ladies, Gandhari is not mentioned. Now you know the reason why. Mandodari is mentioned. Mandodari is considered to be the chaste lady, although she happened to be the wife of Ravana. But Gandhari is not. In spite of doing all this sacrifice, in spite of being, such ascetic, she did not accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his decisions. So she is not considered chaste. So chastity is not only just to the husband. Chastity is also towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in our dealings with husbands and wives, it is very important that the husband and wife, they treat each other as devotees, as Vaishnavas, and cooperate, because
both help each other perform devotional service. But that was not the case with Gandhari. So although Prabhupada is glorifying her that in character she is no less than Bhishmadev, but her chastity is not amongst the most recognized devotees. Pitra chanumato raja Vasudeva anumodita Chakra rajyam dharmena Pitra pita mahan vibhu. After this, the great religious king Maharaj Yudhishthira executed the royal power in the kingdom strictly according to the codes of royal principles approved by his uncle and confirmed by Lord Sri Krishna. So Yudhishthira Maharaj still considered Dhritarashtra as one of the approving authorities. Here Prabhupada is saying, according to the codes of royal principles approved by his uncle and confirmed by Lord Krishna. Maharaj Yudhishthira was not a mere tax collector. He was always conscious of his duty as a king, which is no less than that of the father or spiritual master. The king is to see to the welfare of the citizen from all angles of social, political, economic, and spiritual upliftment. The king must know that human life is meant for liberating the encaged soul from the bondage of material conditions. And therefore his duty is to see that the citizens are properly looked after to attain the highest stage of perfection. In that case, any leader, whether he is a husband or whether he is a teacher or even a mother, it is the duty to see the dependents are looked after to attain the highest stage of perfection. What is that? As Prabhupada puts it here, is that he should be liberated from the encaged stage, from the bondage of material conditions. Maharaj Yudhishthira followed this principle strictly, as will be seen in the next chapters. Not only did he follow the principles, but he also got approval from old uncle, who was experienced in political affairs. And that was also confirmed by Lord Krishna, the speaker of philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Maharaj Yudhishthira is an ideal monarch, and monarchy under a trained king like Maharaj Yudhishthira is by far the most superior form of government. Superior to modern republics or governments of the people, by the people. Prabhupada is speaking on so-called democracy. The far superior form of government as compared to the democracy system. The mass of people, especially in this age of Kali, are all born Shudras, basically low-born, ill-trained, unfortunate, and badly associated. What is the verse? Very close to the famous verse of the symptoms of people in Kali Yuga. Bhagavatam verse. Unfortunate, ill-trained. Which verse is this? Bolo, this verse you should all be knowing. Yes, Ramya?
सर्प आयुष कलो अस्मिन् युगे जन मंद सुमंद मतयर
Yes. Manda bhagya hi
मंद
upajjita.
मागे
Prayana alpayu sabhya. Kalau asmin yuge jana manda sumanda mate manda bhagya hi upajjita. They themselves do not know the highest perfectional aim of life. Therefore, vote cast by them actually have no value. As we see here, after 500 years in this country, in this land of the Aryabrata, we got a prime minister who is revolutionary. And what their people did? By their vote, they gave those who were opposing the Sanatana Dharma. So why? Because they're all Shudra. And where they did? In the heartland of Ayodhya. So see, Prabhupada is not writing now. You see the relevance of Srila Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada is giving this purports in late 60s or early 70s. This is the first canto. It is in 50s, before Prabhupada departed for US. So Prabhupada is saying that therefore vote cast by them actually have no value. And thus persons elected by such irresponsible votes cannot be responsible representatives like Maharaj Yudhishthira. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport to the first canto, 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Passing Away of Bhishmadev in the Presence of Lord Krishna. Okay. So in 9 months, we have been able to do only 9 chapters. But in next 3 months, we have to really pace up. And we will try. We'll at least make it an attempt. So any question or any discussion on this chapter of passing away of Bhishmadev, and in particular to the last 4 verses and the principles given by Srila Prabhupada. Particularly, he is glorifying Yudhishthira Maharaj, that how responsible he was and how he discharged his responsibility to everyone, towards Lord Krishna, towards his elders, towards the citizens, and also he is glorifying Gandhari, who was a chaste lady, who followed her husband's scent person. Boliye, if there is any question or any discussion. Second is holiday, na? 2nd October is complete holiday for all of you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you can all come to temple. Dashil, if you have not planned anything else.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ravinder,
Yes, bro.
that day we'll try and finalize our yatra.
Okay, bro.
How about you, Sonika?
मुझे एक कीर्तन प्रोग्राम यहाँ पे रखा गया है सोसाइटी में उस दिन, तो मैं क्या करूँ, मुझे आपसे पूछना भी था।
What is the timing?
10 बजे से होगा प्रभु जी, फिर कीर्तन
हाँ?
होगा थोड़ा 10 बजे से है प्रभु जी।
10 बजे से कब तक?
2-3 घंटे का प्रोग्राम है, मतलब कीर्तन होगा, फिर थोड़ी बहुत कथा होगी और प्रसादन होगा।
So who is organizing?
चैतन्य चरण प्रभु जी करेंगे और वर्षाना प्रभु जी भी साथ में रहेंगे।
You see, I mean, you can attend there, no problem. If Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is the devotee who came, when
Yes,
you know, okay, then you should reciprocate. You should go there. Okay, no one is having any question, then I will close here. So we will begin the next chapter from tomorrow. That is the departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.